Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unlocking the secrets of the ultimate food factory. I mean, if you've ever looked at a plant and just kind of wondered how it powers not just itself, but the entire planet, well, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down literally the most amazing natural process on Earth, giving you the complete picture of how life sustains itself right from the ground up. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our agenda for today. First, we've got the foundation of life, then key definitions and ingredients, the step-by-step process, the leaf experiment, and we'll wrap it up with acing the board exam. This explainer is basically your ultimate study guide, and stick around because I'm throwing some rapid-fire board exam questions at you at the very end. All right, Section 1, the foundation of life. So think about the fundamental problem of survival on Earth for a second. Humans, animals, insects, we all have to go out and physically find our food, right? But what if, can you prepare food from air, water, and sunlight? Just imagine if you were hungry and you could just stand outside in the sun, take a deep breath, and boom, suddenly you're full. No way, right? We can't do that. But plants have solved this survival problem in a completely different, honestly kind of magical way. They don't go anywhere to search for food. They are the ultimate producers of all food chains. And because they're producers, they use a highly specific method. Now, here is a definition you absolutely must lock into your memory for the exams. Autotrophic nutrition. It's the mode of nutrition where green plants and, some algae or bacteria prepare their own food from CO2 and water using sunlight and chlorophyll. I want you to read that slowly on the screen and really let it sink in. And by the way, the organisms that actually use this method, they're called autotrophs. Moving right along, Section 2, key definitions and ingredients. So now that we know plants are autotrophs, we're going to pop open the hood and look at the exact biological machinery these plants use to make this happen. And the name of the game here is photosynthesis. Let's actually break down the Greek root words. It really helps you remember it. Photo means light, and synthesis means to make or prepare. So literally, preparing food using light. Formally speaking, it's the process by which green plants prepare food from carbon dioxide and water using sunlight and chlorophyll, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. Now, every single food factory needs raw materials, right? And a plant requires 4 very specific ingredients. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what they are. First up, sunlight, which provides the actual energy to drive the whole thing. Second, carbon dioxide, or CO2, absorbed straight out of the atmosphere. Third, water, which is absorbed by the roots and transported all the way up to the leaves by a tissue called xylem. And fourth, chlorophyll. That's the green pigment located inside tiny structures called chloroplasts. And it essentially acts as a trap for that sunlight. Now, you might be wondering, how does that carbon dioxide actually get inside the leaf? Well, the plant needs tiny doors. And this brings us to another super vital piece of exam vocabulary: stomata. Stomata are microscopic pores mostly found on the lower surface of leaves, and each one of these little pores is carefully surrounded by 2 guard cells that essentially open and close the door. Listen up. If you're taking notes for your board exams, you need to star this slide right now. The functions of the stomata are highly tested. They do 3 main things. Number 1, they take in carbon dioxide. Number 2, they release oxygen. And number 3, they help in transpiration, which is just the loss of water vapor. Definitely memorize these 3 specific functions. You'll absolutely be thanking me later. Okay, Section 3, the step-by-step process. All right, we have our ingredients, we have our biological doors. Now let's watch the chronological flow of how this all comes together inside the leaf's factory. Let's walk through this 6-step biological process sequentially. Step 1. The roots absorb water from the soil. Step 2, the xylem transports that water up into the leaves. Step 3, carbon dioxide enters the leaves through those stomata we just talked about. Step 4, the chlorophyll goes to work and absorbs the sunlight. Step 5, using that sunlight energy, the water and CO2 combine to produce glucose. And finally, Step 6, oxygen is released back out. Now that resulting glucose, the plant uses it for immediate energy, stores it away as starch, or uses it to grow fruits and seeds. So the crucial point here is this chemical equation. Carbon dioxide plus water yields glucose plus oxygen. And notice, you must always specify that this happens in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. I'm telling you right now, as your virtual tutor, this chemical equation must absolutely be memorized for the exam. Write it down. It's basically the mathematical summary of life on Earth. And why does this matter on a global scale? Well, because without this process, literally every food chain would collapse. It produces food for all living organisms. It releases the oxygen that we rely on for respiration. It maintains the balance of atmospheric gases. Oh, and by absorbing greenhouse gases like CO2, it actively helps reduce global warming. Talk about doing some heavy lifting for our planet. Next up, Section 4, the leaf experiment. Okay, so we've talked a lot about chlorophyll, but in science, we like to actually prove things. So let's look at a classic NCERT activity. For this experimental setup, we use a variegated leaf. That just means a leaf that naturally has both green and white patches on it. We let it sit in the sunlight for a bit. Then, step 1, we boil the leaf in water. Step 2, we boil it in alcohol, which actually completely removes the chlorophyll. And step 3, we wash the leaf and add a few drops of iodine solution. And iodine is what we use to test for the presence of starch. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the clear contrast in the conclusion. The areas of the leaf that were originally green, they turn blue-black, indicating that starch is present. But the white areas, they remain brown, meaning absolutely no starch. So the inescapable conclusion here is that only the green parts, the parts with chlorophyll, can prepare starch. Chlorophyll is absolutely essential for the whole shebang. Alrighty, bringing it home with Section 5, acing the board exam. Okay, take a deep breath. Consider this your masterclass review. I'm stepping in as your coach right now, and we're going to test the fresh knowledge you just absorbed. Let's see how many of these you can answer in your head before I give it away. Here we go. Board question 1. Define photosynthesis. Think about the Greek root words, think about the ingredients, and think about the byproduct. Got it? Okay. It's the process by which green plants prepare their own food from carbon dioxide and water using sunlight and chlorophyll, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. Make sure you hit all 5 of those specific elements to secure full marks. Moving on, board question 2, name the raw materials required for photosynthesis. There are 4 of them. Think of the factory inputs. Ready? Okay, they are sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and chlorophyll. Just super simple, quick, and easy points to grab on an exam. Next, board question 3, why is chlorophyll necessary? If you get this one, just think back to that NCERT leaf experiment we literally just went over. Chlorophyll is necessary because its main job is to trap the sunlight required to make glucose. Without it, just like the white parts of our variegated leaf showed us, no starch can be produced. Board question 4. What are stomata? And mention 2 functions. Remember, we called them the tiny doors. Formally, they are microscopic pores present mostly on the lower surface of leaves. And for the easiest 2 functions you can possibly write down, they take in carbon dioxide and they release oxygen. Easy peasy. Okay, let's see how this all builds into our biggest question. Board question 5, explain the process of photosynthesis. If you see this on the test, you need to write out those 6 chronological steps we talked about. The roots absorbing water, xylem transporting it, CO2 entering the stomata, chlorophyll absorbing the sunlight, glucose being produced, and finally oxygen being released. And listen to me, absolutely include that chemical equation at the bottom to guarantee you get your full marks. Okay, before we completely wrap up, I really want to clarify a frequent student trap, a common doubt. Can photosynthesis occur at night? The answer is a hard no. Remember, the photo part of photosynthesis literally requires sunlight. But don't forget, plants actually do continue respiration, just like us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I want to conclude our explainer today by leaving you with this kind of provocative thought to ponder. Without photosynthesis, would life as we know it even exist? I mean, every breath of oxygen you take and every single calorie of food you ever consume, it can all trace its way back to this incredibly elegant process happening inside a simple leaf. It is, quite literally, the foundation of all life on Earth. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive. Keep studying hard, and I'll catch you in the next one.